Welcome back, guys. Sherry here. Now, I've had several of you guys ask me how I taught myself to parry and do the flurry rushes. Now, I just did a video on this when fighting a Lionel. If you'd like to see it, I'm going to leave a link in the description. But let's go over this with some different types of enemies. Now, I'll leave timestamps in the description below, and if it's on my list, you can just skip forward to whatever you're looking for. And guys, I am no expert by any means when it comes to battling any of these enemies in Breath of the Wild. I just got so sick and tired and frustrated of not being able to hold my own against certain types of enemies. So I just set out to try to figure out all of their movements and what was going to work best for me, and I want to share it with you. And guys, if you will just practice and apply these techniques, it will help. Now, there are so many ways to handle enemies, especially when you start getting into elemental weapons and things like that, but I am just going to show you the basics. Now, the first thing you want to do before you engage in battle with any enemies is save your game, and this is extremely important, guys. This will help you take the anxiety away of fighting enemies because you won't lose anything. You can just practice and then go back and reload your game. Okay, let's start out with a Bokoblin. Now, all attacks that a Bokoblin will throw at you can be parried. Now, to be able to parry, just hold down the ZL like you're holding your shield and don't let go of the ZL. And at the point of impact, just tap the A button, but don't let go of the ZL. And just repeat this over and over again with no counterattack. Just keep parrying all attacks that they throw at you. And if they have a fiery weapon like this one and your shield catches on fire, just put your shield up and then get it back out and the flame will go out. And if you mess up, it's okay. That's how you're going to learn. Just reload your game and try it again. Next, let's move on to the dodging and do the exact same thing. No counterattack, just dodge any and all attacks you can. Now, to be able to dodge, hold down the ZL button. Don't let off of the ZL button, and you're going to be holding your shield out. When you are ready to dodge, just tap the X button. Just don't let go of the ZL. Now, if you want to dodge backwards, you'll keep holding the ZL, tap the X button, and hit down on your left stick. If you want to dodge left or right, hold down the ZL, don't let off of it, tap the X button, and at the same time, either go left or right with your left stick. But how do we know which way to dodge? Well, typically when an enemy is coming straight at you, you want to dodge left or right. Like this Bokoblin. He's going to jump up in the air and he's coming straight at us with his club and he's going to slam it on the ground. So we want to dodge side to side. But if he is standing in front of us, he is going to swing his club from side to side. So therefore, we want to jump backwards. And sometimes you may want to jump twice because they may swing the club more than once. Now, once you feel comfortable with the parrying and the dodging, then let's counterattack. But it may be easier to counterattack at first with a one-handed weapon. Just in case they attack you back, it's a lot easier to get back to your shield if you're holding a one-handed weapon. Now let's move on to a Moblin, and let's do the exact same thing and parry everything with no counterattack. Now, if you stay far away from a Moblin, they're going to use their weapons. But if you get close to them, they're going to actually try to leg kick you, which that can also be parried. Now, once you're ready, let's move on to the dodging. And guys, it doesn't matter what weapons these guys have in their hands. The same goes for the Bokoblins. If they are standing in front of you and they are swinging a sword, a club, or a spear side to side, we want to jump backwards. And they may swing it twice, so you might want to jump backwards twice or just get out of the way. But now, if they are jabbing straight at you with a sword or a spear, we want to jump side to side. Same thing goes with the club. If they are bringing it down on top of you and slamming it towards the ground, we want to jump side to side. Now, if you find yourself close to them and they are throwing leg kicks, we want to jump and dodge side to side. And once again, guys, whether you're going to dodge and get the flurry rush or if you're just going to parry and counterattack, I do suggest starting out with a one-handed weapon. Because if these guys decide to attack you back, it is difficult to get back to your shield if you're holding a two-handed weapon, just until you can get used to it. Same thing goes for the Lizalfos. Just start out parrying every attack they throw at you. These guys jump around a lot, so it can seem like they have a little bit different fighting style to them, but just take your time with them, regardless of what weapon they have, and just parry every attack they throw at you. And then when you're ready to start dodging, it's the same concept. If they have a spear or a sword and they're jumping up in the air and they're coming straight at you, you want to dodge side to side. And if they're flicking their tongue at you, straight at you, again, we want to dodge and jump side to side. And if they are right in front of you and they're jabbing straight at you with a spear or something, we just need to dodge side to side. But now if they are swinging side to side with a club or a boomerang or something, then we need to dodge backwards. So basically, if they're swinging a weapon side to side, dodge backwards. But if they're coming straight at you, you want to dodge side to side to get the flurry rush. So now let's move on to the Guardian Scout, which is probably the most dreaded, but guys, they're really not that hard once you learn their movements and what you're supposed to do. Now, they're probably going to come out shooting at you, but I do recommend that you try to parry their attacks because it's going to teach you their movements. Now, these guys are not going to stand there and just let you parry their attacks over and over again like some enemies, and that's probably what makes them a little more difficult because they're going to move around the room. And when they jump back like this, you just want to get out of the way. Or you could run behind a pillar and he will crash into it, and then you can run up and get a couple of hits. But now if you are trying to get the flurry rush and he is facing you with his sword or the spear, you want to dodge side to side. But now if he is facing you with his battle axe, you want to jump backwards to get the flurry rush. And once again, I recommend that you start out with a one-handed weapon if you are going to attack him, because it is so difficult to get back to your shield if you are holding a two-handed weapon. But now when he jumps back like this and he starts doing a laser in a circle, you can see the wind. You can actually get up in the air and shoot him in the eye to stun him. Or you could just hit him with a shock arrow and he will stop. And then you can just run up and get a couple of hits on him. But now if he jumps back and he starts to shoot one big long laser, if you can't parry the laser, you can run in one direction and he's going to shoot 4 times. And then you can kind of hit him with arrows in between. Or if you have the ancient shield, it can always reflect the laser for you. But if you'd like to see a little trick where you can defeat this thing and take no damage, click here. And if you enjoy content like this, guys, show me with a like. And please, by all means, if you have any comments to add, leave them below. If you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing, and I'll just catch you guys next time.